All right, guys, I'm going to talk to you about what we will be talking about in this class a lot, and that's going to be religion. So, at this point in our lesson, if you were actually in the classroom with me, we would talk about what you already know about religions, philosophies, and mythologies. All right, religions are a big part of life. Religions are the belief in and worship of a divine entity or being or controlling power. These over here are just some symbols of different types of religions. Okay. Then you have right here, there are two main branches of religions, and that is polytheism and monotheism. Polytheism is practiced by most early civilizations. We have one civilization that starts a monotheistic religion, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But polytheism is simply that they believed in more than one God. Monotheism is the belief in and worship of one God or one controlling power and being. The Hebrews or Jews are the first to become monotheistic, okay? Philosophies are systems of ideas or ways of thinking and a way to apply to one's life to live a better, fuller life, okay? And then mythologies are a collection of cultural stories used to explain why things happen or why life is the way it is. Um, our first monotheistic religion that we come to is Judaism. Sorry, I'm moving myself around the screen. Um, but I figured it'd just be weird if I was talking. And okay, anyway, you couldn't see me. Anyway, Judaism is a monotheistic religion. That means that they believe in one God. All right, guys, this is an overview. This is a snapshot of what we're going to be talking about this year. I wanted you to have a little bit of foundational knowledge of these religions so that once we do dive into them, you'll have a clearer and better understanding. So, the founder of Judaism is Abraham. He forms a covenant or binding agreement, or God promises him something. He promises to make him the father of a great nation. That is the Hebrew nation. Moses is a prophet, and he passes down the Ten Commandments at Mount Sinai after he gets the Hebrews on an exodus or exits them from Pharaoh's control in Egypt. They worship in a synagogue in their holiest city. For them is Jerusalem. Their holy book is the Torah, which contains the written records and customs of the Jews. And religious law is 10 commandments. Many of you may have heard them. Don't steal, don't kill, honor your father and mother, don't commit adultery, that kind of thing. Next, you have Zoroastrianism. Zoroastrianism is unique to the Persian Empire. It was founded by Zoroaster, and it's this belief in two opposing forces in the universe, both good and evil. All right. Hinduism is a polytheistic religion. They believe in many forms of one God. It originates in India and spreads along major trade routes. There is no one founder, but it came about with the Aryans, okay? They have what's called a Vedic period, and that's this emergence of Hinduism. Sacred rivers is the Ganges River located in India. It's very sacred. They believe that it's come down from the locks of one of their gods' hairs through the Milky Way. So it's really cool. We'll talk about that. But they believe in karma, the idea that the thoughts and actions result in consequences, whether they be good or bad. And then reincarnation is rebirth based on your karma, based on whether you had good karma to outweigh the bad karma. Buddhism, it is considered a philosophy. It's also considered a religion in places like China. It was founded in present-day Nepal by a dude named Siddhartha Gautama. He discovered the cause and cure to human suffering through meditation, and meditation is a big part of the practice of Buddhism. In the Four Noble Truths, he outlined that life is suffering, and your suffering is caused by your desires. And to overcome that, you have to follow the Eightfold Path to enlightenment by having the right views, actions, mindfulness, intention, livelihood, concentration, effort, and speech. So what you produce is what you take in, kind of thing. You reap what you sow, kind of thing. And release from the cycle of rebirth is achieved through nirvana. Okay, and there are 4 paths to enlightenment: yoga, meditation, that kind of thing. And we'll go into more detail on that when we talk about Buddhism. Confucianism is a philosophy that originates in China. Founder, of course, is Confucius. Confucius say that you should respect your elders, right? They believe that all humans are good. They use a code of politeness that still exists in China today. They placed an emphasis on education, especially during the Han Dynasty, when you develop a system of merit. All right, a system of merit would be based on your qualifications. So they couldn't get a government job unless they were qualified, unless they had the educational experience to qualify them for that job. It wasn't the spoil system where you just give it out to your friends. And they worship their ancestors. You may find semblances of this in movies like Mulan, okay? And their symbol is yin and yang. Then another philosophy that originates in China, and whose symbol is also yin and yang, is Taoism or Taoism. All right, it's founded by Lao Tzu. They believe in humility, simple life, inner peace. And one I forgot to put on here was harmony with nature, okay? They're your tree huggers. They're your lovers of life. Just mellow, calm, cool, collected. Lao Tzu's, one of his famous quotes is the principle of softness overcoming hardness. What I mean by that is, he says, water is the softest thing, yet it can penetrate mountains. This is the principle of softness overcoming hardness. So when you're nice to people, you get farther than when you're mean to people. That's like one of his philosophies. Greek mythology, we've got a polytheistic religion again, cultural stories. You have no one founder, but it originated in Greece. Zeus, he'd be god of the gods. Hera, the goddess of women, childbirth, and marriage. Athena is the goddess of wisdom and war. Artemis, you don't want to miss when you go hunting, so she's hunt. Apollo is light, medicine, and music, and Aphrodite, love and beauty. And we'll research those gods and goddesses, and you'll tell me more about them, their origination stories, and all that good stuff. Roman mythology, a lot like Greek mythology. It's polytheistic religion. You got some different names for the gods. Jupiter is god of the gods. Juno, women, marriage. Apollo kept the same name when adopted by Roman culture. Diana is the goddess of the hunt. Venus is love and beauty. I always tell my ladies, think of Venus razors, right? Because you like to look lovely and beautiful by shaving your legs. And then Minerva is the goddess of wisdom and poetry. All right, that's a way for you to remember that. Christianity, monotheistic religion. It had its roots in Judaism because Jesus was a Jew. You have the founder is Jesus of Nazareth, who is the proclaimed Messiah, the Son of God sent to save the world from their sins, right? Believe Jesus is the Son and incarnate of God. That means God on earth. They also believe in life after death, this concept of heaven and hell. Holy book is the Bible or the New Testament specifically. Of course, their Holy Bible contains both the Old Testament, which lays out the messianic prophecies or Messiah prophecies, and then the New Testament, those prophecies fulfilled, right? And it's about the life and teachings of Jesus, all right, and his closest disciples. The religion was spread throughout the Roman empires by apostles such as Peter and Paul. All right, Islam is another monotheistic faith that also has its roots in Judaism. It originated in Saudi Arabia on the Arabian Peninsula. They trace their roots back to Abraham through Abraham's son, through his handmaid Hagar, which is Ishmael. Okay, so the founder is Muhammad. There are 2 different types of Muslims. Predominantly, there are other sects of Islam, but these are the 2 major divisions within Islam, and they would be Sunni and Shiite. Sunni believe that any good Muslim can lead the Islamic communities, whereas Shiite, which is very few in number nowadays, maybe close to 10 to 20%, whereas Sunni take up about 80 to 90% of the Islamic population. But Shiites believe that only descendants of Muhammad can lead the religious communities. They worship in mosques, and their major beliefs or fundamental practices or works for obtaining salvation, if you will be the practice of the 5 pillars of Islam, where they give a declaration of faith, pray 5 times a day facing Mecca, and there's a ritual practice associated with prayer that we'll talk about. Celebration or fasting during the month of Ramadan, which is a month of reflection and repentance for their faith. And then faith, prayer, charity to the poor, and then a pilgrimage to Mecca. Okay. And then Shinto. Shinto is an ethnic religion that's unique to Japan. It is polytheistic. It was able to coexist with Buddhism. And it places an important emphasis on natural features, forces of nature, and ancestors. Okay, they actually worship their emperor. And now here, this right here is called a kami. That's a gateway into the spiritual realm. So that is your overview. That's your snapshot of religions. Hope you enjoyed. Bye, guys. Oh, let me exit, and then let me